Alright guys, Coach Joe, what's going on here at the Lion's Den? And I just got done doing a upper body, primarily a shoulder routine. And this was the first time that I ever have done the Z press. And let me tell you, the A press, the B press, the C press, the D press, the E press, all the way down to the Y press, man. They were so much easier than the Z press, baby. This thing is a whole nother animal. So if you didn't know why it was called the Z press, because I didn't know until I was actually into strongman, it's the Zydrunas press. Zydrunas press, and that is named after Zydrunas Savickas, who is one of the strongest men on the planet. Now he's got like a log press of almost 500 pounds. That's insane, so I'm pretty sure he's up to something. But before we get into showing you what it is, I want to explain what it is and who should be doing it. Then I'll show you guys some footage of me doing the Z press and how to incorporate it into your program. So first off, the biggest difference of doing the Z press is that you're actually sitting down on your hiney, your butt cheeks. So you're sitting down and there are pins, okay? If you have pins, I actually don't have a lot of pins, so I actually did it from the rack. It's probably more dangerous that way. Don't do it that way because you may die. And we never want death from these videos, never. Can't come after me. You get no money. You want to do it from pins if you can. I did it from the rack. Now, like I said, the difference is that you're on your butt, okay? So it really takes away your base. And it's such a core movement as well as a anterior shoulder and upper back. So your upper back's gonna be lit up, your shoulders are gonna be lit up, your core's gonna be just firing in all different ways, and you're gonna be shaking and falling over like I did for the first time. It's quite embarrassing, but that just goes to show you that if you're a beginner, you probably shouldn't be doing this movement, okay? And if you do, you wanna really scale it back, super light, just get used to it. I started with a barbell today, to be honest with you, and I was working around, let's say, 55, 65%. It's important before you do the Z press to make sure that if you have any hamstrings, psoas, hip flexor problems, that you stretch them out, okay? I discovered that when I was in that position, right, on my butt, my legs are straight out or slightly in a V shape, it put a lot of strain on my hip flexors and I realized how tight they were. So when you get into this position, it's important that you work with lighter weight so that injury doesn't happen. And if you just have a barbell, it's easy to ditch a barbell rather than a lot of heavy weight, and things can happen and you can drop and you can die and chop off your legs or your private parts, and that's not good. Make sure you stretch out your hamstrings, your psoas, okay, your hip flexors, your lumbar, okay, your thoracic spine, so that whole upper back region. Get on a foam roller, do some mobility drills before, and I really think it'll make a big difference when you do the Z press. So now what we're gonna do is just show you guys how to do the Z press, or how I was doing the Z press, a little bit of footage of my training session, and then we'll come back and I'm going to tell you who should be doing it and how to incorporate it in your training. Okay guys, so when I was doing this earlier, somebody had these spotting arms, so now I have the wonderful pleasure of using these without dying. So real quick, what you're gonna do is you're gonna set up the spotting arms or whatever you have to put the bar on top of, and I like to go right around chin level. You can always adjust it a little bit, but from there just take your normal grip wherever you would do for your overhead press. You can either have your legs in a V or straight out in front of you. You don't wanna have your knees too far bent, and you don't wanna press your legs against anything for cheating. So I'm just gonna go with a V shape with my legs for right now. Gonna have the bar nice and close to my body, okay? I'm gonna take my big deep breath, drive straight up, get my head through as fast as possible, bring it back down to the pins, okay? So get that breath again, drive up, back down. Now what I'm trying to do is drive my head through as fast as possible, like I said, but I'm also setting my lats and really rooting my body down and using my core in a strong brace here, okay? So you can definitely feel it in your hip flexors, you're gonna feel it in your abs as well, and mostly just all across that posterior chain and the upper back. You got the anterior delts going as well, so it's a great overall movement. So from here, show you a couple more. And what you'll notice is when you do put weight on the bar, you're gonna wanna lean back and fall back. So that's the biggest thing you're gonna be fighting in this movement, is not falling back and looking like an idiot or dying in the gym. So make sure you really root down, okay? The core is braced. If you have any hip flexors or lumbar or hamstring issues, you're gonna wanna straighten them out prior to doing this, because you will feel it. My hip flexors are a problem issue right now. That's what I felt the most, so I know I need to pay attention to that. It will also show you your weak points, okay? Whether it's gonna be your upper back that's gonna start fatiguing, it's your shoulders, something. So it's a great tool to use to really see what is happening with your overhead press position and getting as strong as possible. All right, guys, so just to recap, I would use this movement if you are an intermediate or an advanced lifter. Somebody who's just starting out, I would stick to the regular over press variations, and then incorporate this as time goes on because it can be dangerous. So in terms of how to structure it into your programming, I would say stick with like a 5x5 or a 4 sets of 6 or 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps, because you really want to make sure that you're getting the technique down, okay? You don't want to go so heavy that the whole stability issue is a big problem. When you do this enough over time and you keep gradually increasing, staying around 55, 65%, you will notice that one, you're gonna get stronger, so that will change over time. But two, you're gonna really feel a difference in your overhead position when you do go for doubles or triples or singles even, especially in strongman, using like a log for an example. I think this will be something that will really help. So hopefully that answers some of your questions and gives you guys some help in the Z press, incorporating it into your programming. If you have a question, just drop it below. This was somebody who asked on Instagram on how to incorporate the Z press, so I figured I'd make this video for you, brother. Hopefully this can help and give you a little bit of pointers, but make sure you guys are training hard, okay? Being lean, mean strength machines and getting after it. Hopefully this helped. If you liked it, thumbs up it, subscribe to the channel somewhere, and then show your friends all around the world, because this is pretty cool. For watching this video, you can always email me if you have questions, guys. You never know, could make a video on your question, and I'll make sure to answer it to the best of my ability. So, peace.